The smoke from the grill clung to my hair like a bad memory. Paper plates bowed under greasy smiles. My husband's sister leaned back in her long chair, wine sloshing, eyes sharp with boredom. She tilted her head at me and said it, casual, cruel, perfectly timed. "If you disappeared tomorrow, no one would even notice." Laughter cracked open the afternoon. Even my husband smiled. Not wide, just enough. I raised my hot dog. Mustard slid toward my fingers. "Challenge accepted," I said. No one heard the door close inside me, but it closed. We met once, years ago, in a place that smelled like rain and coffee. He was careful with his words then, careful with me. I believed in that version of him, because believing felt easier than questioning. His family welcomed me with a warmth that later proved decorative, like a wreath nailed to a locked door. Back then, I thought love was endurance, that if I stayed quiet, stayed useful, stayed kind, I'd earn permanence. I didn't see how invisibility was the real expectation. The joke wasn't the first cut, it was the cleanest. Before it, there were the silences, the way my husband introduced me less often, like a habit he was breaking. The family group chat that went quiet when I typed. The way his sister spoke over me, corrected me, erased me with a laugh. I noticed patterns. I cataloged them. I learned where I stood by where I wasn't invited. The proof arrived without drama, a message left open on the counter. Not an affair, worse, a plan. A casual thread about space, about how I was sensitive, how it might be healthier if I went to stay with my mother for a while. They were rehearsing my disappearance without asking if I wanted to go. I didn't cry. I cleaned the counter. I folded the towel with precision. I felt something settle behind my ribs, cold, steady. That night, after the BBQ, while laughter still echoed in the backyard, I packed a bag, not everything, just enough. I moved like a guest who knew where the spare keys were hidden. I transferred my paycheck to a new account. I photographed documents. I forwarded emails. I left my ring on the nightstand, centered like punctuation. I didn't leave a note. I left silence. Disappearing isn't about distance, it's about subtraction. I blocked numbers, deleted social media, closed the joint account, filed paperwork with the efficiency of someone who'd already mourned. I changed my address, my gym, my grocery store. I chose a city where no one knew my laugh or my history. I became deliberate, anonymous, free. Weeks passed, then months. I watched from a safe remove as the story mutated. At first concern, then annoyance, then the shrug. She always was dramatic. My husband texted once, then twice. I didn't answer. He called my mother. She didn't answer either. I had asked her not to, and for the first time, she listened. I built a life in the quiet, a job where my name meant something, friends who waited for me to finish speaking. I learned the pleasure of being missed by the right people and forgotten by the wrong ones. A year later, I returned, not to them, but to the city. A conference brought me back. Fate has a sense of timing when you stop begging it for mercy. The hotel bar hummed with voices. I recognized my husband's sister before she recognized me. Same laugh, different edges. She was talking too loudly, trying to be seen. I took a seat across the room and waited. My husband arrived late. He looked smaller, worn at the corners. He scanned the room with the hunger of someone who'd lost something essential and pretended it didn't matter. When his eyes found me, the noise drained out of his face. I didn't smile. I stood. The walk between us felt ceremonial. He opened his mouth. I raised a finger. Not yet. We stepped aside. His sister followed, curiosity sharpening into dread. She recognized me then. Her smile cracked. "You disappeared," she said, accusing. "I vanished," I corrected. "There's a difference." My husband reached for me. I stepped back. Space is a language. I had learned to speak it fluently. "I filed," I said. "You were served months ago. You didn't respond. Default judgment is a quiet thing. You should read more carefully." He swallowed. The sister laughed too fast. "This is a joke, right?" I met her eyes. "Remember the BBQ? You said no one would notice if I disappeared." Her laughter died. "I wanted to see if that was true," I said. "It was, for a while. Then people noticed something else." I slid my phone across the table, an article, a promotion announcement, my name spelled correctly, a photo where I looked like myself. "I noticed," I continued, "who called, who didn't, who needed me, who used me. You trained me well." My husband's voice broke. "Come home." I thought of the smoke, the laughter, the way my presence had been optional. I am home. The sister scoffed. "You think you've won?" I leaned in, soft, precise. "Winning isn't loud, it's lasting." I left them there holding the absence they'd practiced for me. Outside, the night was clean. I breathed without permission. I don't miss them. I miss who I was before I learned how small they needed me to be. That version of me didn't disappear. She evolved. They wanted me invisible. I became unforgettable to myself. And that's the only audience that ever mattered.